70 years ago today marked the grand opening of the most magical place on Earth. When Disneyland opened its gates back in 1955, its unexpected success turned it into one of the most well-known and visited tourist attractions ever. Of course, like almost everything, it wasn't easy to create something that big. Walt Disney, known for his amazing imagination, had this idea for a place where kids and adults could have fun and feel safe together. Walt's vision dates back to 1932 when he realized the studio didn't offer much for visitors. That led him to consider what he called a Mickey Mouse Park, which was a 16-acre project he wanted to build just down the street from the Burbank studio, but the city didn't go for it. Even so, Walt didn't give up. He gained more inspiration watching his daughters ride the carousel at Griffith Park in Los Angeles, and he started imagining what it would be like to bring the worlds of his films into real life. Throughout the 40s, Walt was constantly visiting fairs, carnivals, and amusement parks to gather ideas for what this place could be. The earliest known documentation of Walt's plans was sent to production designer Dick Kelsey on August 31st, 1948, where he listed out what he'd seen at other parks and what he envisioned for the Mickey Mouse Park. People at the studio were telling him the park was a bad idea and would be a financial disaster. However, Walt believed in his concept and managed to collect funds independently to create a separate company called WED Enterprises in 1952. As the designers kept developing the park, Walt's imagination just kept growing, and it quickly became clear that 16 acres wouldn't be enough. Walt brought in C.V. Wood and Buzz Price from the Stanford Research Institute to help locate the right land. After doing research and surveys, they ended up acquiring 160 acres in Anaheim. Development kept moving, and retired U.S. Navy Rear Admiral Joe Fowler joined the team to lead construction and pull off the huge challenge of getting the park built in just 1 year. However, there was still one major problem ahead, that being the lack of funds from outside sources. Since investors weren't interested, Walt turned to the world of television, leading him to come to an agreement with ABC where they would fund $4.5 million in loans and help create the weekly Disneyland TV show, which also helped promote the park before it even opened. Construction began on July 16th, 1954, and after a year of intense work and despite the park not being completely ready, Disneyland officially opened on July 17th, 1955. However, even its opening was not a smooth sail. The invitation tickets ended up getting counterfeited, leading to nearly 30,000 people showing up on its opening day. Food ran out, rides broke down, and the pavement literally started melting, which led to people referring to its opening day as Black Sunday. The next day, Walt invited guests back to see the park in better shape. Despite the bumpy start, July 17th is still recognized as Disneyland's official opening day, and the anniversary we celebrate today. Since its opening, Disneyland has gotten better and kept growing, adding new attractions, new experiences, and eventually a second park. Today, it's still bringing magic and happiness to millions of people every year, and I think it's worth taking a moment to reflect that